All right, we are back. And, going back to what you said about how this was just a, shoestring budget, horror movie. And it's funny because between the break, you was actually talking about how both these movies are literally, just two extremely low budget films, and yet they're like the two of the best, recognizable horror movies in the horror community. I mean, it really is.
Yep.
Now, the last thing I remember we was talking about before we went to the break, because there was a good 20 minutes there before the, between the things. But I was talking about how, like, it is a, even if it was a low budget and they get right into the action, there's still some character development. I mean, it gets, you actually get fleshing out the character and everything else. But, the one thing that I really love about this movie, like for me, what the essence of this movie and what makes it great, is I'm a fan of movies where basically there's some shit going on worldwide. I mean, there is some shit going down, but you only hear about it through the radio and news clips, and it's really just from the perspective of these few people in a farmhouse who have no idea what's really going on out there. Like, they're getting their information. Signs is a good example of that. I love that in Signs. I just love, again, Penn State, don't get me wrong, alright, whatever, but that's like on a bigger scale, and everybody around the world knows it, and they're all, no, I like it when it's just, you're in a house, you don't know what the fuck's going on out there, and you're just like watching we're watching it with you. That's what it's kind of like, we're actually, we don't know what's going on either, we're just trying to get the information with you, and I think that's what makes this one brilliant. And it has, the second element to that, is I love movies where people are just trapped in a location, like, one of my favorite Halloween movies, not to try to get sidetracked, but I'm going to anyways, was Part 4, because they're in that house. And I just love the fact at the end, they're barricading the house, doing everything they can to keep Michael Myers out, and of course he's on the outside. And I love it. I just love that, like, they're under siege kind of feel. I just think that's brilliant. So it really, like, those elements together, to me, just made this just top-notch. And that's just, those two. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think the acting, for as low budget as it is, I think the acting's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Dwayne Jones, how do you pronounce it, Dwayne? Is it Dwayne Jones, the black guy in the movie?
Yeah.
The DU, I mean, to me, Dwayne's like DW.
Yeah.
All right, so Dwayne Jones, I think he did a damn good job. I mean, and once again, for 1968, having like this, lead black actor, man, that was kind of shocking. Now, the thing was, everybody assumed like George Romero like threw this in there, and they threw all this social commentary in this one. He claims in this one, anyways. No, they were just making a movie. I mean, it is usually what they can get. They threw it together. Now, whereas with Dawn of the Dead, there was some, and he meant for it to have some social commentary. But the first one, no, nothing. They just, they basically, I can't remember what they said. They actually hired the guy. I think he was just an actual actor, and he was like, we'll take him, kind of thing. So, and he did great. I mean, he really did. I mean, once again, the ending. I love the ending.
Really?
The downbeat, dude. I love that. Like, when I'm a kid, like, I'd watch it over and over as a kid. I'm just like, say something. Just say, hey, I'm in here. And, yeah, spoiler alert once again. You guys shouldn't be watching this show if you don't want to know the ending. For Christ's sake. My God, if I get to a newer movie, I won't spoiler it for you. But this movie's been out since '68. God damn, watch it, Yeah. But, as a kid, dude, I would really, like, it almost depressed me. I was like, dude, just say anything. You survived the night. You did the one thing that you were fighting against. You went into the basement. The whole movie, he's just like, we go to the basement, it's a death trap, we can stay up here. And in essence, he was right. I think the basement was like a fallback, and it became a fallback. He eventually had to go back down there. But, dude, the dude watched everybody. I wouldn't really say his friends, but everybody he was surviving with, they all get picked off. He's down there by himself. The zombies are all upstairs. Night passes. He survives the fucking night, and he goes upstairs, and as soon as he's upstairs, bam, shot. And I was like, oh my God. And that is like the most bleak. And then the way they kind of photograph the rest of it, just little stills, you can still hear it, of him getting carried out to the fire. Dude, that is just, and the whole thing was just like, my God, like, it was almost all for nothing. But it's still brilliant. Like, that's what, to me, that's what makes it.
Yep.
And what the thing is, like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, Hollywood did it different, because I don't think they would. Hollywood is kind of about the down endings anymore. I mean, if they make a sequel out of it, they'll fucking leave it open to where, like, everybody gets killed and the monster still lives. Yeah. But the fact that it was 1968, it was just like, most movies, you destroy them. Like, every Frankenstein I've seen so far, Frankenstein gets put away at the end somehow, and the hero and the girl ride off in the sunset. Every one of them I've seen so far does that. Dracula, same way. Every time there's a Dracula movie, Dracula blows up in the sun or whatever, and the main character and girl are like, hey, we are getting married now. Every one of them. Yep. And I like them. I like those old, Universal movies. But this one's just like, fuck that. No one's getting out here alive. We're going to kill all of them. And I love that. It just, I don't know, it's just...
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant. It really is.
You've seen the colorized Savini remake, haven't you, 1990?
Parts. Dude, I'm getting bust on everything tonight. Yeah, I've seen parts of it. Tony Todd, right?
Yeah, because I was going to bring up the ending of that, but I guess I won't. So
go ahead. I'm spoiling shit for them. And once again, that's been out for a while. I should have already seen it. So
yeah, fuck you. You should have already seen it.
So go ahead. Yes.
But I mean, it's another, like, what was we talking about earlier? Hills Have Eyes.
Okay.
Kind of shot, almost shot for shot, word for word remake with some subtle changes.
Now, isn't the girl kind of more of like the take charge?
Oh, she's definitely like the Barbara in the original is definitely kind of
more. Yeah, and then this one she's kind of like Mila Jovovich.
Bitch. But
she's Alice from Resident Evil, you know.
Yeah, and but Tony Todd, Ben.
Yeah.
It's about the same ending, but he is a zombie.
Oh, okay.
And he's actually, he's got like the cloudy eyes and.
You ruined it for me now. I'll have to watch it now. Shit. But, yeah, no, I mean that's and then.
Fuck you should have seen it.
Okay, now looking at both of them, I mean, obviously, do you prefer the remake or the?
That's almost, and it sounds like a cop out and kind of cheesy, but it's kind of a dead heat, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they're all right.
All right.
Other remakes of it. Not so much. Night of the Living Dead 3D is probably the newest one, I think, with Sid Haig.
Sid Haig, yeah. I didn't bother with that. Just
if I had more thumbs, they'd be down.
Now there is a version, kind of going back to like Halloween, how they had an extended version. Okay, I was reading on the internet a few years ago, and I don't know what the version's called. I need to refine this article. Okay, it's a public domain movie.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, right now, anybody and their brother and sister can get a camera crew together. And film a movie and legally call it Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, it's you can do it. You can alter the. I mean, whatever. You can actually do anything you want. And apparently, what these guys did was they actually filmed extra scenes. They just not even in the era. I mean, this was made like mid '90s, I think. Maybe, maybe even early 2000s. I'm not sure what the quality. I know nothing about it. I read this probably back in 2005. And I guess what they did was these people just filmed extra scenes. And I guess it has like this kind of religious feel to it, to where like the churches are like, it's because of you sinners that these abominations are back. And I guess there's just more scenes. And I guess like at one point like this cult crucifies, I can't remember if they crucify a zombie or a person. I haven't seen it. It's been a long time ago I read it. But they edited it into this one. So I mean, you're watching Night of the Living Dead, and there's just new scenes in between, like the other scenes. And I guess it actually kind of goes with the movie. Like it's not necessarily like it's not a distraction per se. It's almost like you're watching just another version, if you will. And have you heard about this? Have you seen any of this? Okay,
I'll research that and check it out.
Yeah, I need to really kind of do my homework on it too. I should have done it before tonight because I do that a lot. Like I know ahead of time like what movies I'm going to review. And I do no preparation whatsoever. I'm like, fuck it. I know the movies, and I'll just jump into it. And then I just, I'm here. I'm just like, shit, I'm
I'll be honest, I absolutely haven't watched Halloween and Night of the Living Dead in probably a while.
Really? I do rewatch them.
Watched them enough times.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, because I'm watching them. I'm literally not really watching them. I'm just kind of like doing other shit because I'm like, I've seen it so many times. I already know what's going on.
I mean, Halloween is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. I mean, same.
If I'm not, if I don't know something about it, then something's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the exact same way. I mean. But and Night of the Living Dead is another one that. Here's the thing, I was kind of weird, and once again, I mean, this was a standalone movie back in '68. Like there was no plans to do sequels, or they hadn't really set rules for zombie movies yet. But I just love the fact that the little girl in the basement, she doesn't just go right away and start gnawing on her mom. She grabs a spade and just butchers her first. And that's something I don't know. Have they done that recently in any other zombie movies per se, or? Cause I just remember, like, I watched that one. This is the first zombie movie I've ever seen. I will tell you that right now. It's the first one I've ever seen. And it got me into the other ones. And I went on this big zombie, like, kick where I was watching everything. Italian zombie movies and fucking... they even had a couple...
Lucio Fulci's zombie.
Yes, and that's another... Dude, when he fights a shark underwater...
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's like the... And you could not do that today. They would do some weird, like, puppet shark. That's a real fucking shark and a guy dressed as a zombie underwater. It looks fabulous. I mean, it just looks incredibly real. It's brilliant. It really is. But anyway, I've yet to see really a zombie. Like, the only time they ever get kind of humanistic, I guess, would be Return of the Living Dead. When they pull... I'll be right now, I'm not a big fan of Return of the Living Dead. When they pull up the, send more paramedics. It's too goofy for me, and I resent that movie for whatever reason. I mean, it has good scenes. It has good effects. I mean, I love the gore. as a movie though, and the thing was, they got more box office success because it was released the same year as Day of the Dead. And I think Day of the Dead is a way better movie. I'm not saying it's as good as Dawn or...
Day's my favorite of the three.
Is it really? I mean, I can
actually, it's
that.
like a 5-ology by now, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, they went more next. Diary of the Dead was the last one I seen, but they did Survival
of the Dead, yes.
And I won't say there's even another one that came out. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure maybe another one that came out just right after. Like, Survival and that was like done back to back, and he just like...
I didn't like Survival and Diary.
I didn't see it. I didn't like Diary of the Dead. I thought Diary of the Dead was horrible. Like, I just like found footage.
They're found footage movies, yeah, both of them.
I like most people hate found footage. I actually like them. Like, I went into it skeptical, like, fuck these found footage movies.
Yeah.
And I've, like, paranormal movies, or paranormal activities, love them. I love the Blair Witch Project. Used to hate it when I was younger, but I appreciate it now. Cloverfield, I can keep going, but
yeah.
Last Exorcism was great. Dude, I watched Diary of the Dead knowing what it was. Like, I knew it was going to be a found footage movie. Like, I already read that. I was like, alright, whatever. I'll watch it. Still wasn't that good. It's just like they just tried too hard.
Yeah, I think Romero's kind of lost, because that's another thing I wanted to touch on if we got the time.
Oh, we got time. We got time.
We were talking about Carpenter beforehand.
Uh-huh.
And, Romero also has... I'm not to say that it doesn't show too much on Night of the Living Dead, because it was still early in his career. And,
yeah.
He'd done a lot of... I think he got started doing commercial work and stuff.
Yeah. Him and the co-writer, they both was in commercials when they broke in.
George Romero has a particular, an undeniable style, especially for, like, his movies he did in, like, the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
If you watch, again, I'll come back, if you watch The Crazies, the original The Crazies, and let's say, for some fucking weird reason, you didn't know The Crazies was directed by George Romero and written by George Romero.
Like, you just stumble across, like, what the hell?
But you're a big George Romero fan.
Yeah.
For some reason, you don't know that one. If you watch it, you're going to know. It's just got that feel to it.
He has his own deliberate pace, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I noticed that, like, especially with Dawn of the Dead. Once again, the original's really, the original's great. Remake's really good too. Like, I won't even try to make it sound like it's, it's okay. No, it's really good. It's actually one of my favorite movies of that year. 04, I believe it came out. Love them both. However, there is a difference in the style. One's more frantic, fast-paced, more for this generation, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Whereas the last one, once again, I'm going to use the phrase deliberate pace. Like, he knows what he's doing, and he's like, I don't care if anybody likes the pace I'm going at. We're going to draw it out here. Because he's telling a story. That's what he's doing. He's not trying to fill any time restraints or anything like that. Yes, the Phantom Lair is in the ghetto. I want to let you know right now. It's, No, but yeah, he's just, he just has his own way of going. All movies I've seen that he's done, they're all like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only one he kind of lets up on is Creepshow.
Yeah.
Because that was more like as an anthology, and they were trying to cram all they could within those little 20-minute segments or whatever.
But he had, he had other people. That wasn't kind of his thing though.
Yeah.
Like, Stephen King was.
Yeah.
And
a collaboration work.
Yeah.
Whereas other times it's him just.
And really and I've heard this before, and I actually think it might be a special feature on the Day of the Dead discs that I have, but it says something to the effect of the original script for Day of the Dead was like some 300 pages or something, and if he would have got his way
and his budget,
that fucking Day of the Dead would have been this extremely long epic movie.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that I guess this is kind of a battle he's been battling since then, is like he has like his vision up here and he puts it on the paper. Problem is, it's the budget, and studio don't want to fund like this big 3-4 hour long epic or whatever. So yeah, he has to kind of resort to just doing cheap kind of things. So, well, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. All right.
All right.